Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Feel free to write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video or any other videos that I have posted in the past. If you have any videos that you would like me to make, please let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. The purpose of this video is to help you to realize that the potential of the way how you can utilize the fast cooking system. Now, the fast cooking system stands for flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and templates-based cooking. The idea of the fast cooking system is that you can cook without recipes using templates. And with advanced prepping, you can create many variations based on a basic template. Now, this video's good example is that I cook this dish obviously without recipe, but I cook it in such a way to design to fit our own personal taste preference by making adjustment to various type of ingredients that I'm going to use in this dish. It can create a unique dish, and in fact that's what I do every single night. I create something that particularly to suit what we feel like that night, and of course what is available to us. Now, what is available to us on this particular evening is that I have some fresh cold hot salmon. I purchased about 1 pound of salmon and I divide it into 2 meals. One of the best ways I find to cook salmon, both in terms of flavor, texture, but more importantly in terms of speed, is to cut the salmon up into small pieces. Now, people might wonder, will this affect the final flavor of the salmon? And my answer is yes, it will affect it, it will make it taste better. And my wife is an expert in salmon. She loves salmon. I think it's probably comfortable for me to say she's a connoisseur of salmon. She ate plenty of salmon, both in restaurants as well as what I cook at home. But for a long time, I tried not to actually make salmon for her because I'm afraid she might not like it. But then I remember hearing her, she's always complained about the restaurant salmon is not quite exactly how she liked it. Now, once in a while, she will hit a jackpot that she will find the salmon that's served in the restaurant is perfect. And most of the time, she just do not like the way how they cook it. They either overcook, undercook, or they might have a sauce on it she does not like. So finally, I developed this method. Well, there are a couple of reasons for this method. One is that I want to be able to cook it as quickly as possible in terms of saving time. Efficiency is always an important concern for me. And the secondly is that I like to control the texture. I do not want to overcook the salmon or undercook it. I like to cook it exactly the way how she like it. A little bit crispy on the outside, but it's nice, soft, and moist in the inside. But another reason is that I want to be able to cook the salmon that she can eat the skin as well. Most of the time, when she eat at a restaurant, she do not eat the skin because a lot of time the skin is very oily. So I developed this method that I will fry the skin first with the skin side down on the wok. And this actually will dry out the oil from the salmon. And on top of that, it will create a crispy texture for the skin. And in fact, the crispy texture of the skin makes the skin taste really great. It's almost like eating potato chips, but it's with great salmon flavor. The end result is that it gives me total control of the texture of the salmon. So if you have never tried this method before, I recommend you to give it a try. You'll be surprised how good the salmon is going to turn out. In fact, I have cooked this for many people over the last 20 years when it comes to for dinner. I always prepare salmon, particularly if any one of them enjoys salmon. Everybody walk away and said this is the salmon, probably the best they have ever had, and they will want to go home and reproduce how they cook this salmon. I cook this dish in 2 separate steps, and I call it combinatory stir frying or combinatory cooking. It means that I cook the ingredients separately depending on how I want to control their outcome. In fact, this method is used in all the top restaurants. Top chefs always use this type of method because this ultimately will give them the best control. Now, the vegetable part of this dish, again, I use whatever vegetable that I have available on hand, but at the same time, I decide what I like best. For this evening, I happen to have some broccoli on hand. I also have some Brussels sprouts and some green beans. I cook all 3 of them together. because they require about the same amount of time to cook. Now, this dish also cooked with some mushroom as well. I have some portobello mushroom. So right there, I have 4 different kinds of vegetables to cook this vegetable dish. Like any other dish that you have ever had, the more ingredients the better it is. But basically, if you cook them all to the point that to their perfect texture, and this is the important part, which makes stir frying particularly suitable. Stir frying is an excellent method because it allows you to cook many ingredients together and use what I call a combinatory cooking method, as well as a sequential stir-frying technique. You can cook different ingredients for different time periods. And simply by adjusting when you're going to add the ingredients to the wok, the ingredients you want to cook longer, you can add them earlier. And the ingredients you want to cook shorter, you add them later during the cooking process. Now in this dish, I'm also going to use another ingredient which my wife really enjoys, and that's where the perfection comes in with home cooking. But you can cook it exactly how you like it. Now this is referred to as a soy tofu puff. The soy tofu puff basically is a fried tofu. But there are 2 kinds of fried tofu. The first kind is that the fried tofu, after you fried it, the inside of the tofu is relatively firm. The other type of tofu, which is the soy tofu puff, that the inside is almost like a matrix. They're very soft, and this is achieved by frying the tofu on an extreme high oil temperature. And the end result is that the matrix in the middle of the tofu allow you to let it absorb fluid, and it comes just beautifully flavored. Okay, now I'm going to add a mixture of minced ginger and garlic. I use a handheld wood chopper, and that has been a godsend for me. Because before, if I want to use minced ginger and minced garlic, it takes a lot of time to cut them and then to mince them, and that can take easily 10 or 15 minutes. But with this, it only takes a matter of seconds. You put it in there, I combine it with both the ginger and the garlic together, and since it's just manual, you don't need to apply electricity, you just pull a string that revolves the blade, and then you got it. Okay, now I'm going to put in some purple cabbage or red cabbage. Now you notice that I put them way toward the end because I like the purple cabbage and red cabbage have that crisp flavor, and which I personally really enjoy. Now if I put it in too early, they might end up, which I will call it overcooked. Other people might say it is perfect. Now this is where flavor chasing comes in of the fast cooking system. With flavor chasing, you can adjust and manage every aspect of the flavor of this dish, this ingredient texture as well. Texture clearly, without any question, is an important part of flavor. And by controlling the texture, you can achieve the flavor that you like. Then I season the dish with some oyster sauce. Now oyster sauce is my foundation sauce because oyster sauce is mainly to provide a umami flavor to the dish. It makes the dish more savory. And the end result is that when you use oyster sauce, you can use it with almost any type of food ingredients because you are not trying to overwhelm the basic flavor of the food ingredients or the natural flavor of the food ingredients. And with oyster sauce, this gives you much better control. Again, flavor chasing allows me to continue to taste the texture of the dish. In this case, I decided I would add a little bit more oyster sauce. So, as you can see, now this dish has all the flavor I'm looking for. The garlic, the ginger, the oyster sauce, and the natural flavor of the food ingredients. Last but not the least, I'm going to throw in some colored bell pepper. This is a miniature colored bell pepper. I cut up again. Give both texture as well in this case.
Actually, this kind of people usually take lectures.
So as you can see, this dish contains many different ingredients, but they do not put in there followed by recipe. Instead, they put in there followed by what we want the dish to taste like, and how each time when I cook this dish, I can make adjustment accordingly. And in this case, the different ingredients that I put in there, it is possible because of advanced prepping. Just imagine if you have to prep all these ingredients from scratch. It would take you an hour just to cut everything up. But with advanced prepping, I will have everything available to me, and in this case, only a few things I need to cut up. Of course, the ginger and the garlic. In fact, I can even do advanced prepping for that. But with the chopper, I can have the minced ginger and garlic for really a matter of minutes. So, as you can see, in this dish, I'll provide the type of a combination, which is what makes home cooking great. The last but not the least, I'm going to add the salmon. I'm going to lay it on top of the dish. Now, this is truly what I would call a one-dish meal, because in this dish you have many different ingredients, different components that create the flavor, but at the same time, each one of them still stand out. They have their individual flavor that you can enjoy. Okay, now we are almost done. Last but not the least, again because of advanced prepping, I have scallions on hand. I can just garnish the dish with additional scallion to give the type of a flavor and texture that I want. And again, that appearance plays a great difference. And at the end, I'm going to just garnish the dish with a touch of oyster sauce. And here it is. And this is the familiar river that we live right by. Each morning I go down the river, I find it the continuing changing nature of the river. And I think cooking should be the same. And using the fast cooking system, you can continue to change the food that you eat. You constantly improve it, and consequently, this is what makes home cooking sustainable. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.